I spent $477 on my boyfriend's anniversary gift, and his cruel reaction made me realize I'd been dating someone who doesn't deserve my love. 2 years together, my first real relationship, and I genuinely believed we had something special. He lived in this massive 2-story house with his family, all their fancy gadgets scattered across the kitchen counters, KitchenAid mixers, NutriBullets, ice makers, waffle makers, you name it. Meanwhile, my mom and I shared this tiny unit where every square inch mattered, but I was so in love, so hopeful about our future together. Every morning I'd wake up thinking about how lucky I was to have found him, how he was teaching me what real love felt like, how our 2-year anniversary would be this beautiful milestone we'd remember forever. For weeks leading up to our anniversary, I kept asking him what he wanted as a gift, practically begging him to give me some direction. "Oh, I don't care," he'd say with that dismissive shrug, "whatever you want." But I'd learned my lesson from Christmas when I bought him that Apple Watch he hated, the one that's now sitting on my wrist because he refused to wear it. Because apparently I'm terrible at understanding what he actually likes. I was working constantly, barely had any time off, and I kept pressing him, "Please just tell me something, anything. Because I don't want you to hate whatever I choose." He'd promised to get back to me, say he'd think about it, but the responses never came. On my one day off that week, I was desperate, frustrated, dragging my friend through every single store in the shopping center for 4 solid hours. We walked past jewelry stores, clothing racks, electronics displays, everything looking either too expensive or too cheap or too personal or not personal enough, and I was getting more anxious by the minute. That's when I spotted the Ninja Creamy ice cream maker on special for $477, and suddenly everything clicked into place. He loved ice cream, always talking about different flavors, always mentioning how he wanted to eat healthier but still enjoy treats. And here was this machine that could make protein ice cream, dairy-free options, all sorts of creative combinations, plus his family had all those kitchen gadgets already, so I figured this would fit right in, something fun they could all experiment with together, something that showed I was thinking about his interests, his health goals, his family dynamic. I had this $300 gift card that had been sitting in my wallet for months, collecting dust, so really I was only spending $177 of my actual money, which seemed reasonable for our 2-year anniversary. My friend agreed it was thoughtful. The store was closing in 30 minutes, and I felt this surge of confidence as I walked to the register, imagining his face when he opened it, picturing us making ice cream together on lazy Sunday afternoons. That night, literally as I was getting ready for bed, my phone buzzes with a text from him. "Oh, here's a shirt you could get me for our anniversary," with a link to some random clothing item. The timing made my blood boil, because he knew I didn't have another day off, knew the store was far from both my house and my workplace, knew I'd already told him multiple times that I needed his input earlier. I texted back that I'd already gotten his gift, that he should have sent this days ago, but honestly, I was still excited about the creamy, still convinced I'd chosen something perfect. Our anniversary morning, I wrapped it up with this beautiful ribbon, hands shaking slightly with anticipation as I presented it to him. His initial reaction seemed genuine, eyes lighting up, asking questions about how it worked, and when he pressed me about the cost, I tried to downplay it, mentioned the gift cards, watched his smile seem to falter just slightly, but he said he liked it, thanked me, even seemed interested in trying it out, and I felt this wave of relief washing over me. Everything changed when he was getting ready to leave that evening, suddenly announcing he wanted to leave the machine at my house. "No, it's your gift, take it home," I said, confused by this sudden shift. "I want to make it with you the first time," he countered, but when I suggested we could do that at his place, he insisted on leaving it here. That's when I mentioned that my mom had specifically said she didn't want it taking up space in our tiny unit, that if it was staying, she needed to understand why. He exploded, completely lost it, screaming about why I would buy this thing, how it was too much money, how he was never going to use it, how I should never have bought it in the first place. The switch was so sudden, so vicious, that I just started crying, shocked by the complete 180 from his earlier reaction. "Now I'm the bad guy for telling the truth," he taunted, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "This is exactly like that stupid Apple Watch," reminding me of every gift-giving failure, every time I'd apparently misunderstood him completely. "You never listened to me," he continued, each word hitting like a slap. "You're bad with money, you make impulsive decisions. I asked for a shirt, not an ice cream maker." I wanted to defend myself, wanted to point out that he'd given me zero guidance, that I'd spent weeks trying to get his input, that I genuinely thought this gift showed how much I cared about his interests, but I could hear my mom in the next room, could feel the humiliation burning in my chest. Could see our anniversary dissolving into this nightmare of accusations and cruelty. All I managed to whisper was that I could return it, get store credit, that I was sorry for getting it wrong again. Even this apology made him angrier, claiming I was trying to make him look bad, that he was doing me a favor by telling me now instead of letting me wonder why he never used it. When I asked him to lower his voice because my mom could hear everything, he got more frustrated, announced he had to leave, and I just numbly said okay, unable to find any other words. After he left, my mom came to check on me. Having heard every word of his tirade through our thin walls, "You don't do that to someone over a gift," she said gently. "You don't destroy someone like that on your anniversary." She called him a prick, and for the first time all day, someone was validating what I was feeling instead of making me question my every decision. I'd told my coworkers about this gift, how excited I was, how thoughtful I thought it would be, and now I had to face them tomorrow with the embarrassing truth of how spectacularly it had backfired. Sitting there in the aftermath, surrounded by torn wrapping paper and the machine he'd rejected so cruelly, I realized this wasn't about the gift at all. This was about someone who claimed to love me but couldn't find a kind way to handle disappointment, someone who'd rather destroy our anniversary than have a mature conversation about preferences, someone who'd made me feel like a failure for trying to show love in the only way I knew how. The boy I thought I'd spend forever with had shown me exactly who he really was, and it wasn't someone worthy of the love I'd been so eager to give. Here are some comments from the community and OP's responses. Comment 1, why are you dating this guy? From this interaction it seems like you don't even like each other. Did your mom also suspect he wouldn't like the gift? Why did she specify it wasn't staying at her house? OP's response, my mom and I live in a small unit whereas my boyfriend lives in a large block of land with a 2-story house with his parents and sister. My mom didn't really want it to stay here as it was obviously going to be his and not ours, so it would be awkwardly sitting there when he wasn't here. I didn't think it would be issue for him as his family and himself already uses a range of gadgets like KitchenAid, NutriBullet, slushy makers, ice makers, waffle makers. I have totally fucked up here and asked. Comment 2, hey, so he's an asshole. I've been with my man for 13 years and there's so many gifts over the years. Not all of them are hits, on both sides. What matters is that our partners put energy, time and ear. OP's response, I definitely wouldn't have reacted like that to him as he has in the past brought me gifts I am not crazy about but I ended up using them to please him. I just valued the effort he put into trying to get this gift for me, so in turn his gift then meant something to me. I think that's what hurt the most was the way he spoke to me and how harsh he was about it all. Just was uncalled for in my opinion. Comment 3, if someone got me a $500 gift, I would feel obligated to get them a $500 gift in return. That's money I don't have and would put a huge financial and mental strain on me. Could this be why he snapped? OP's response, yeah, you're right, it was way too much to spend. I think I just got carried away as for Christmas he got me a Coach bag which was $600 whereas I got him a $300 Lego kit. I shouldn't have spent this much for anniversary, I missed the mark here.